Joining me now is Democratic Congressman and House Minority Whip Steny Hoyer. So it doesn't mean anything?
Well, Gretchen, it means something in that the Republican Party continues to pursue its message, not substance. This is the 31st time we voted on repealing the health care bill. It's the 31st time that it will fail. Everybody knows that the president is committed to it. He's not going to sign that bill if it passed. But they also know the Senate's not going to pass the bill. So this is about politics, not policy. And very frankly, if it passed, if it became law, literally millions and millions of Americans would lose benefits they already have. Young people would be kicked off their family's insurance policy. Pre-existing conditions would now be used by the insurance company to keep children from getting health care insurance. Seniors in the donut hole would be again placed in a position where they may not be able to afford prescription drugs they need to keep their life healthy.
And those are some of the provisions, Congressman, that most Americans actually like. But when you look at the bill overall, I want to take a look at the most recent poll. Most Americans still don't like Obamacare. So who's really listening to the constituents?
Gretchen, it depends upon which poll you're looking at. Kaiser just did a poll which said 56% of Americans want us to move on. They want us to be focused on jobs. They want to make sure the health care bill will work. There's no doubt about that. But very frankly, I think the Republicans are wrong in thinking the American people want to retreat. What the American people want the Congress to be doing is focus on jobs and building this economy,
and a lot of those Americans,
which we're not doing.
A lot of those Americans wanted this president to be focused on jobs when instead he was focused on health care for the first 2 years of his administration, which moves us to the next topic, which is now he's claiming that his tax cut plan is the same as Bill Clinton's. Is it really? I mean, you were there. Is it really the same thing?
Well, I think we're not in the same position. We had the Bush tax cuts for the very wealthy, very frankly. We've had the worst economy, worst recession we've seen post-Bush administration that the president's been trying to address. So to say it's the same we were in 1993, when, by the way, every Republican, everyone, to everyone in the Congress, House and Senate said that program would not work. In fact, it brought us the best economy that I've seen in my lifetime and you've seen in your lifetime, and 4 years of balanced budget and a surplus of $5.6 trillion, according to George Bush when he took over. So,
well, there were a lot of
radically
other
different situation.
There were a lot of other varying factors.
Gretchen,
wait, I want to make sure I get it. I want to make sure, because the economy was a lot better off at that point in time. I want to make sure I get that in. But isn't this all about
after the Clinton administration? You mean it was a lot better off?
No,
and you're absolutely right.
I mean when he made those particular cuts. I want to make sure I get this point in, though, because I don't want to run out of time before I get this in. A lot of people are saying that President Obama giving this middle-class tax cut right now to people, families making under $250,000 a year, is simply a campaign strategy. He knows that that's not going anywhere either, just like you're claiming the health care vote today won't go anywhere. Your response?
Well, now, you know, Gretchen, isn't that unfortunate? Because what the president said, and what I believe is, everybody in the Congress agrees, or at least says they agree, that those under $250,000 should not have a tax increase. We agree with that. The Republicans agree with that. Isn't it a shame that we're holding hostage that on which we don't agree, and that is that the richest folks in America should not get a tax cut, but should pay a fair share?
They are. Well, a lot of people argue they already do. There's people in your own party.
There's a dispute on that.
People in your own party who disagree with the president. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Senator Claire McCaskill.
You're wrong, Gretchen. Nancy Pelosi believes the president is correct, that we ought to move forward on a tax cut for those under $250,000. Maybe she did. What the $1 million really is a function of, which overwhelmingly 80% of the American people think we ought to not have a tax cut for those people. Very frankly, what that $1 million represents show that the Republicans won't be for a tax cut for anybody, even though a study just showed Americans are paying the lowest tax rate they've paid in 30 years. We've got a deficit. We've got a debt. We need to deal with that. We need to set aside sequestration. Very frankly, we need a big, bold, balanced plan. But we do agree that nobody under $250,000 ought to get a tax increase. Isn't it a shame? Isn't it a shame, Gretchen, that on which we agree, we can't get the Republicans and Democrats together to move on? We're for that. The president's for that. I would hope the Republicans would be for it.
Let's see what happens with that. Congressman Steny Hoyer, so glad that we could make the interview happen. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot, Gretchen.
The Supreme Court said